Hello, welcome back. I'm Dr. Lori Williams. Today I want to talk to you about how spirituality alone will never ever get you to be healed. So essentially, spirituality is going to give you some tools. It's going to give you some very powerful tools. It can literally get you like 75% of the way there. It allows you to look at what is, the deep-seated issues that are going on within you. It allows you to become more self-aware. It allows you to learn to be fully present. But the truth of it is spirituality is just never going to be the thing alone that heals you. So what I do with my clients is I encourage them to use spirituality as a companion, not a replacement for healing. So you still need to address your emotional issues, the nervous system dysregulation, and behavior patterns. But then once you recognize those things and actually embody those aspects of you, then the spiritual aspects of things will amplify rather than substitute like true and authentic healing. So unfortunately, in a lot of spiritual circles, we tend to find that essentially like we get in this loop of, oh, I'm going to meditate my way through it. Oh, I'm going to clear my chakras and get through it this way and realign with my energy. And although those things work, I mean, I practice those things, so absolutely they 100% work. But the truth of it is, if your nervous system is still dysregulated, something's going to trigger you, and because of the dysregulation, the energy that you just cleared is just going to come right back again. If you are working on like deeper self-awareness, and you want to essentially shed the layers of you that aren't authentically who you are, but you're not looking at the patterns, the behavior patterns, or the beliefs of yourself and the world around you as part of that concept, then as soon as something triggers you, you're going to fall back onto the old way of being, the old patterns of being. And this is why, for me personally, and with my clients, I have stopped taking the action of only looking at spirituality and then looking for something else, because the piece of the puzzle that I've learned along the way in my own healing journey that we're missing is the embodiment piece. This is such a huge piece of the puzzle. This is literally like, probably a quarter of the puzzle that we're missing and that we're not doing it. We're bypassing, and we get stuck in these, like what they call spiritual bypassing, where essentially just because we're aware of the emotions, we're not actually truly releasing them. We're just releasing like the current energy around it, but because we're not changing the pattern that's with it and integrating that into ourselves, we just keep bringing that same energy to us. So we get stuck in these loops, and this is what a spiritual bypassing is all about: is thinking that you're making this progress, but you're not actually making the progress because you're still stuck in the loop of doing the same thing that you've always done, responding in the same way that you've always done. And yes, don't get me wrong, you're going to notice changes. You're going to notice subtle changes. As soon as you start on a spiritual healing path, you're going to notice that, you're more aware, that you can recognize certain patterns, certain behaviors, certain beliefs that need to be changed. You might even be able to make those changes, which is all great. But until you actually do the integration part of it, nothing's going to stick. It's not going to be lasting. And this is the missing piece of this puzzle. So I personally have gotten myself out of these spiritual circles that just allow you to stay on this loop and allow you to just like, okay, well, essentially, I keep going for, energy healing. And I've actually, in my own practice, I've stopped offering energy healing as a individual practice. And the reason, or individual service, and the reason I did that was because a year ago, whenever it was, a year and a half ago, is that's when I realized that just clearing the energy is not enough. If you're not doing the work up here, the work in here, the regulation work, if you're not doing the embodiment work, nothing I do is going to change anything long term. It will change things for the given time, but like I said, as soon as there's a trigger there, it's all going to come back. So I encourage you to use spirituality, use your meditation, use your grounding techniques, use all of those things, but I want you to know there is more to it than just those things. They will never get you from 0 to healed. They're only going to get you about 75% of the way. The other 25% of the big piece of this puzzle is to get you to actually be able to say, hey, you know what, I'm actually healed. Is to be able to look at your patterns, your beliefs, your behavioral patterns, and the embodiment aspect of it. You got to stop embodying all of these parts of you that aren't the authentic version of who you are. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you back here next time.